look at all this candy. 99% of new cars that are sold today lose value the second that they drive off the lot. However, there are 3 things to look for if you want to buy a car that will appreciate in value as soon as you purchase it. We're here at Source Auto Group here on the East Coast, where they are the experts in finding these cars that will appreciate in value. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Man Cave. Ryan, thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thanks for coming by.
This is Ryan, the founder of Source AG. What are we looking for today with all these cars that will help appreciate them in value?
Well, I think 3 of the major keys to vehicle appreciation is collectability, the provenance or pedigree to a vehicle, and
so the
production.
heritage behind it?
Exactly. And the production numbers.
Okay, so we have production numbers, the heritage behind it,
Yep.
and basically the options on the car.
Exactly.
So those are the 3 things that you look for.
Every time.
Do you have examples you can show us?
Yeah, let me show you something.
Cool, let's do it.
Here at Source AG, I decided to build a little home away from home, somewhere where I can kind of sit down and be away from the average day-to-day thing and focus on building a collection somewhat like this. Pretty much every car hits every one of those pillars that we're looking for. And the things that I look for when it comes to buying cars, there's something that not everybody can get their hands on. Something that will definitely bring my client collectability, they're fun to drive, something that they're proud of owning, and something that will definitely appreciate in value.
So the first thing to look for is production numbers.
Yep, absolutely.
Tell me more about that. Is it the lower the production number, the higher the value? Is that always the case?
Not necessarily, but it definitely helps when a vehicle has its production numbers placed somewhere on the vehicle. Something like this, the Sport Classic, Porsche decided to make about 1,250 of these. Out of all the modern 992s, this is the rarest one that they make. The ST has 1,943 examples. You know, the RSs, I think they made a little over 4,000 for the country. The Sport Classic, you know, being that it is a car that is a limited production, it has a badge right on the dashboard that tells you exactly what number out of 1,250 are made. That brings a ton of value. And it is also a car that has little things about it that are different than the average 911 turbo. For example, they made these rear-wheel drive only. Every 911 turbo is all-wheel drive. They made these cars only manual. Every 911 turbo has a PDK. This car has a 7-speed manual, whereas the ST has a 6. The reason they did that is because the 7-speed with the turbo engine is a little bit more robust and can handle the amount of torque that these motors make.
So that was done on purpose.
100%.
And speaking of which, this interior is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites.
This is the Heritage interior,
This
right?
is the Heritage Cognac interior with the centers done in what Porsche calls Pepita and what everybody in the fashion industry knows as houndstooth.
Heritage.
Yeah.
Can you show us the car that has a lot of heritage that you're talking about?
Well, we've got quite a few of those. So if you come over here past the sea of GT3 RSs, you'll see this white example with green wheels. In the 70s, 1973, Porsche made what was the RS of its day. It was the 2.7 RS. That car came with a very specific color combo with the wheels, the graphics, and this car is an homage to that. They made 150 of these for the United States market alone. All of them look exactly like this. One thing we did to make it a little different, and we used the guys over at Onyx Detailing, shout out to them. They went and hit every area of carbon with matte PPF. So when you see these out and about, and you might see a few of them, there aren't a ton. Again, 150 isn't a lot of cars. All the carbon on the average one of these will be gloss. You can see on the door sill, it says tribute to Carrera RS.
Wow.
Which is the car that I was mentioning.
So when you say that we are looking for something that has heritage, does it necessarily have to be a limited car like this, or is it just something that has history behind why the car was created.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has to be something related to history, right? And it doesn't have to be a Porsche. It doesn't have to be a Ferrari. It could be a Subaru, right? The WRXs were made for the market of people that are into the WRC. If you're a rally guy, you're into rally cars, you bought a Subaru STI, you bought a Mitsubishi Evo. Those cars have that level of pedigree. The Ford GT that we have over here has the pedigree and the heritage that came from Le Mans. Everybody knows about Ford versus Ferrari. Everybody knows about the Ford GT. And this car was made specifically to pay homage to that 1966, 67, and 68 car that everybody loved and everybody still recreates. There's a couple companies out there that will make a replica version of the old one. Ford decided that in 05 and 06, they were gonna make about 4,000 of these cars and sell them to the public. And man, did they sell out to the public. They sold every single one of these cars in the roughly $130,000, $140,000 range when they were new. Weren't a lot of options that you can get. Every one of these came with 4 options. You could choose whether or not you wanted them all, or if you wanted just a few of them. This specific one has 3 of the 4, those being the BBS wheels, the stripe. All of them came as a striped elite car. That was an option. And on the inside of the car, there's an upgraded stereo system that was done by Macintosh that makes it the 3rd option. Some of the cars will have a higher value because they have less options, because there were a lot of people out there that spec'd them out to look like the old cars. So your average red car with white stripes, there are a lot of them. Blue cars with no stripes happen to be the most valuable example out there.
Interesting.
We've seen that on Bring a Trailer. We've seen that at some of the different auction facilities, whether it be Sotheby's or Bonhams, Gooding, whoever. The cars that have the lowest total production in terms of specification really bring the high numbers. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it was the most popular car back then. A lot of the things that weren't popular when they were made is what makes them popular now.
So the 3rd pillar that we really want to focus on is those options. So you're talking about if the car has specific options, whether it has them or in this case doesn't have them, that will affect whether the car will appreciate value or not.
Absolutely. Perfect example is the 2RS, right? This car that we have here is a very low mileage example. When I bought this car, people thought I was out of my mind because I paid up for it being a really low mileage example, only 260 miles, 1 owner. It's not paint to sample, but it is chalk, and people do love chalk. Chalk is a big seller in the Porsche market. They paid homage, talking about heritage, to the older RS cars, the 2RS cars with a 2-tone interior. This specific one has the magnesium wheels in white gold, which was a really popular color on some of the older 911 body styles. But again, this car being fully loaded does make it very valuable. There are examples of these cars that have no YSAC package, meaning that the roof is just painted the color of the car. There is no stripe. And there's some guys out there that decided to go with the couch seats or the comfort seats rather than the racing buckets.
Right.
And we've seen some of those examples also bring a ridiculous amount of money when you would think no one would want a car that has a racing heritage with sofa seats.
Before you click away, there is a very special car that we did not talk about yet. This car is my favorite car in this collection, but you gotta make sure you're subscribed first. That way we could show you more cool content. The car that we're talking about.
This right here is 2 years in the making. It is the Special Wishes segment of Porsche's limited edition program that they have for their special VIP clients.
That's amazing. This car basically ties together all 3 pillars that we've been talking about. This thing is insane. So tell us what this is. What are we actually looking at?
So this is a 2025, one of the last ones to roll off the production line of the 992, what we might call the .1 GT3 RS. We haven't confirmed a .2 yet. This car was built specifically to pay homage to the 997.2 GT3 RS with its livery. You have the Carrera white metallic with the palladium wheels, the old school checkerboard vinyl on the side, as well as the GT3 RS on the rear quarter panel and the front fender. If you look at the old 997.2, they did make this livery on all of those 3.8 engine 3RSs, special wishes, which there's over $100,000 in special wishes options alone on this car.
There's over $100,000 in options on this car?
In just special wishes.
In just special wishes.
So the base price of this car is $250,000. Weissach, magnesium wheels, all the goodies, the ceramics, the lift.
Right, the normal options
PDLS,
you could get.
right. Your average regular GT3 RS on a 2025 will option out to about $315,000 to $320,000. When you got to the tribute level, you got to about $330,000, $340,000. Same thing with a paint to sample. Paint to sample is going to bring you, $14,000 to $20,000 in the paint, depending on what year you bought the car. But with special wishes, which takes a long time to do, there is just in special wishes $105,000 plus on this car. And a lot of the stuff that you see that is special wishes are things that we requested, such as the GT3 RS livery from the .2. One thing that's really cool is that you can see on the RS on the fender is in the new style graphic for this car, not the old school one.
Ah, so it's got the newer font.
Palladium on the headlights, the paint matched front bumper, the paint matched rear wing plates, as they call them. You've got palladium throughout the car. It's really just like a gold everywhere, right? We've got it on the window trim, on the top of the steering wheel at the 12 o'clock marker, all of the stitching. We've got paint matched side vents. We've got palladium colored RS on the wing. We've got it down here on the back. The Porsche on the rear bumper is all in gold. Same thing with the releases for the hood. I mean, it's everywhere. There's just little stuff that this car has that makes it really, really special. And we wanted to make sure that we got as much of it as we could. This is not a car that's for sale. This is not a car that is going to be seen out and about very often. It is going to maintain as low mileage as possible. It is a collector's piece. And it is something that, out of all of the cars in here, really is the most unique example of what we have. The Sport Classic is definitely a rare car. The paint color that it's in is Sport Classic Gray. It is the most common color on the car. The pastel orange that we have on the paint to sample car is also something that you'll see on a couple other ones. You will never see another 3RS like this one.
So there it is, the ultimate way to make money when buying a car, if you have the mind to buy the car in the first place. Huge thanks to Sourced AG for having us and giving all the incredible information today. If you like this video, you know exactly what to do next. I'll see you on the next one.